how women need to, position ourselves when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, they are not positioned to protect nor provide. They're not earning the income.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem.
A lawyer by the name of Ebony K. Williams was in conversation with Miss Iyanla Vanzant, and she began to ask her if she would date a bus driver. She said that she would not. For her, this was not acceptable. She stated that she has dated the color spectrum and different age demographics, and that these men are not qualified or equipped to protect and provide. My question to you, blue-collar, working black men, what do you feel about this statement? Is she the common denominator, seeing as if she's dated different races, ethnicities, and demographics? And she even admitted to being in her masculine energy, and you can see it all in her face. Does a woman degree matter at her convenience, and then she rips it off the table when it's time to pay bills? What do you guys think about this?
Tell you, like, some of the dumbest stuff that I've ever heard. I think I remember seeing an excerpt from an interview where a woman was on TV talking about she could never date the bus driver. She would only date the owner of the bus company or some stuff like that. That's so stupid, bro, for these women that think they live a wealthy type of lifestyle, that only want to date guys that they deem rich men. Tell you how stupid that is. That rich man doesn't drive the semi-truck that delivers the groceries to your Whole Food stores where your pretty little rich face and petite body goes to pick up that food. So if that man doesn't deliver that grocery to that store, you'll die. If that man doesn't drive that fuel truck to come put gas underneath the ground at that gas station, you don't drive a car. If that man that drives that semi-truck doesn't deliver that Tesla on the back of that semi-truck, you don't have an electric car to drive. If that man that drives that semi-truck doesn't deliver that Gucci to that store on that truck, you don't have any clothes to wear. If that man that drives that semi-truck doesn't deliver that makeup to that store that you go and buy your makeup from, you're gonna be seen as natural and a basic motherfucker, because most of y'all put on other people's faces anyway. You paint a face on. So how dare people, try to say that I wouldn't be able to date the blue collar worker. I can only date the white collar worker. That's so ignorant of people, bro. So ignorant. If that person at Ruth Chris wasn't in the back cooking, how would you prepare food? If that chef didn't come to your house, would you know how to feed yourself? Would you know how to prepare a meal? You know what I'm saying? If that person that worked at the car lot where you get your car serviced, if he didn't change oil, how would you keep your car maintained? You feel me? If that person that washes cars didn't wash cars, you would ride around with a dirty Tesla or a G-Wagon. If that doctor or that nurse wasn't working in that hospital, you would be sick and die. If that garbage truck worker didn't go and pick up garbage for a whole month, think about how stinking and deplorable that little rich neighborhood that you live up in the hills would be if all that trash sat out there for a whole month because the garbage truck workers didn't exist or they quit. Think about how corrupt and how crazy the world would be if all police officers went on strike right now and you just had crime running rampant throughout your state and throughout your you know what I'm saying? Throughout your country. Think about that farmer. If you didn't have that farmer that got dirty every day and, you know, didn't look the best and didn't dress as, you know, well as your Gucci wears or your Louis Vuitton wears. Think about if he stopped farming. Where would you get your eggs? Where would you get your milk? Where would you get your meat from that you go eat at Ruth Chris? You know what I'm saying? For all you, I could only date a rich man type women. Think about how you need the bare minimum and the bare necessity that you deem bare necessity and bare minimum people of this society just to sustain your high-priced life. Everything rides off the back of everybody else. If one profession left the world, we would probably feel the impact of it. So for you to be so shallow as to say, oh, I wouldn't date a white collar worker. I wouldn't date a blue collar worker. I only date the white collar. I only date the bosses. Well, without the workers, there wouldn't be a boss with it. Then you would have to drop back down to the worker, which is blue collar, because nobody will work for the boss. So it wouldn't be a boss. You wouldn't have anybody to boss around. So you gotta be very, very ignorant to say something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. But anyway, I'm just riding and ranting. Alright, man. Peace.